Welcome everybody, Ben Cathro here in Leogang for World Cup Round 1. What was it? Maribor? Delayed. Fort William? Cancelled. It was looking really unsure if we were actually going to make it to a World Cup this year, but so happy that we are eventually here in Leogang after many border crossings and lots of forms and panic and stress. But we're on the hill. Day one, practice day, we're going to focus on the riders. We're going to look at who's on form, who's looking good on track, who's been changing bikes, how it's affecting them, just all that rider focused, juicy detail. Then qualifying day, track analysis, the comparisons, the ghosting, the timing, all that stuff you love. Then on race day, story of the race. We're going to look at what was the biggest event that happened, how it happened, and just go into all the details. This is going to be best content that we can possibly do under the restrictions we're under, so I can't wait to do it. But today, let's get you up to speed. Who's looking on form? Let's get on track. Oh. I did say we were going to focus on the riders for this video, but I've got to mention the track. It is insane. It used to be bike park, they put in that steep wood section, it made it the hardest race of 2020, and people on track were saying that conditions were harder this year compared to last year. That means that even though riders are riding well, there's so many variables going on track and so many tricky bits that when we catch them on camera, they might not look very good. And there was a lot of that going on. Come on, Raj! Oh! Dat is zo vet! Pause that, let's play everyone's favourite game, Did He Die? What are we thinking? Death or no death? Oh! If you guessed no death, then, well, you win nothing. Back to the action. One of the riders looking really good was Ocean Callaghan. He won the World Cup Series last year, and this year he's coming in a bit more experience, a bit more confidence, and when we saw him on track he was riding very confidently and very aggressively. Will that pay off? We'll have to wait and see, but he looked good in practice. In 2020, Scottish racer Michaela Paron had a breakout race at World Champs here in Leogang. And at this race, we were looking to see, was she looking as good as she was back last year? And yeah, she was actually looking really strong. Keeping her feet up most of the time, looking very controlled, which in those tricky conditions saves energy, and it looks pretty good too. One of the first riders on track that our filmer thought was looking really good was Cube rider from Germany, Max Hardturnstern. And boy, he was turning hard. He was being really aggressive, really fast in places, and looking like fastest man on track in a couple spots. Being from Scotland, I could not do this video without talking about the man, the myth, the legend, world champion, Rhys Wilson. He won here last year. And he's on a new bike though, so that's a bit different, and he's running flat pedals. So that's something he wasn't using when he won last year, but he seems to be really enjoying them, and the track is quite suited to flat pedals. He's had a few mistakes on track that we've seen, but I mean, this track is wild, so he's been fast in other places. We caught a few slip-ups. Look at that, wee dab there. Oh, tidy that up for race weekend, Rhys. Sort it out, eh? Another podium for the Scots. Talking of world champions, Camille Balanche, who won here last year, was looking really good in track. Consistent, main line. She was smooth, hitting those main lines. That is going to be crucial when it comes to race day. So I'm sure you've noticed by now the track is very steep and very muddy. Who's good at steep and muddy tracks? Apparently, Danny Hart, because every time there's a race at a steep muddy track, it's all the commentators talk about. But he's on a new bike. He's on the Cube team now, and the bike seems to be working really good for him. They've got a custom back end on that so they can fit a smaller back wheel so that 29er doesn't slap him on the bum too many times, and it's looking really good. He's going fast, he's looking comfy. I think he's on for a good one. Another man on a new bike is Remy Terrion, and he is electric on this wild and loose kind of track. The highline that he took in the race last year, well, he's still on it. The new giant bike seems to be working really well for him, and if he holds it together, good result from Remy.
Remy knows.
We cannot prime the viewers pre-race without talking about the GOAT Greg Minnaar. He actually contracted COVID in the off season and had to stop training and just rest and relax. I was talking to him about it and he said it was really bad. He had to keep his heart rate low for ages, and I was actually worried about whether he would be back to full strength, but he said he's feeling mint, he's looking good on track, he's smooth and clean as usual. We'll see how he performs when it comes to the full race run. Another rider looking really good on track was young American racer Christopher Grice. He actually got the fastest time in time training today, and he was looking really consistent on track. Now you're just gonna have to trust me on this. I'm not being biased by talking about another Scottish racer, but Greg Williamson was looking mint in practice. He was looking really strong, really powerful, and clean. One of the fastest riders last season was Loris Vergier, the young Frenchman, and he's on a new team this year, Trek Factory Racing. So he's won some pre-season races, and he got 4th fastest time of the day in time training today. And here's the #1 rider, Matt Walker, series winner from last year. He's on the same bike, same team, he's feeling confident. He signed until 2025 new contract, so he's obviously feeling it. And tell you what, those hips, check them out, they are not lying. They are swinging from left to right, helping him keep the balance down these steep tracks. Loic Bruni was a race winner last year in the World Cup season, but coming into this race, he actually had a nasty crash at a regional event and broke a bone in his heel. He wasn't sure how it was going to go for this race, but apparently he's feeling okay, and on track he is being cautious, but if any man can turn it around, it is Bruni, so look out for him on race day. The person that impressed me most when I was watching trackside was the man who's been missing for the last few races, the Frenchman Remy Terrion. He's on that new Commencal bike, and apparently it works really well. Fastest in time training, and that does not surprise me. He was looking really good on track. Talking of the fresh bike, Amory's teammate Thibaut Deprella, who top 5 last year in the World Cups, was also looking really strong. 2nd in time training, so those bikes are clearly working, even though I was a little bit concerned that new linkage was going to get filled up with mud. But apparently not a problem, and it's working well. Sticking with the Commencals, because they got a lot of riders this year, Pom Pom was the woman that really impressed in that lower wood section. She was aggressive, really carrying speed and up to speed early on. Pom Pom was looking really clean and quick, so if she stays clean,
Then she'll be quick.
Then she'll be quick. we cannot talk about Leogang races without talking about this sort of local valley hole. Last year she had a nasty crash in the big step down coming out of the woods in practice and broke a bone in her leg. So obviously there'll be a little bit of trepidation, but rumours are she's just sent it and it's absolutely fine. She was looking a bit tentative in other places in track, but let's see if she gets it all figured out, and will she live up to the promise? I think she will, because she is so good on a bike. So that is it, that is day one practicing Leogang. I hope it looked as exciting on your little telephone screens as it did trackside, because honestly this track is insane. So tomorrow we are going to look closer at the track, we're going to do some comparisons, get a little bit more in detail, so stay tuned for that. We're going to go crunch this edit out, get it done, get on it. We're going, let's go get it, go, quick.